Now back to the show. This is The Law Show on CL 650.
Make a wish, take a chance, make a change, and break away.
Love that song, the theme of which is a little on the bitter side. It's Kelly Clarkson, Breakaway there. This is the Law Show on CIL 650. We're talking family law today. David Halkett is here from Macquarie Hunter LLP in Surrey. David is the head of the family law section.
That's correct.
At Macquarie Hunter. David, you've spent a lot of time helping us understand the law, the legalities behind all of this breakup of families and all the rest of it. And there's one area here that's kind of perplexing to me, the civilian. And that's this whole, the time. It seems awfully tedious almost that the law seems to want to spend on the definition of parenthood when it comes to family custody and governance and all of these other residency and guardianship and support. So talk to us about the law's fixation with parenthood. Why?
Well, usually because someone who wants to apply for guardianship, usually you're a parent.
Sure.
And there's obligations as a parent, whether it be for support, etc. So in the old days, mostly the only way you had a child was through normal sex.
Sure.
But now, of course, there's in vitro fertilization, egg donation, sperm donation,
Surrogate motherhood,
exactly.
all of that,
So
absolutely.
The law was way behind, so we had to catch up with it. So they determined who the parents are under this.
So this is all part of the BC Family
Exactly.
Law Act of 2 years ago.
Exactly.
Then. Okay.
So what they wanted to do was make sure that they determined who was the parent. Like, normally there's the normal default rule is that if you're married to the spouse and you the child's born within 300 days of a divorce or whatever, you're deemed the child and the normal gestational period.
Sure.
But now they determine whether or not if you donated an egg, are you a parent? Unless you are in part of the agreement that you would be part of the parent.
Oh, my.
And it comes up a lot, obviously, for same-sex couples who want to have a child because they have to have a third person involved.
Exactly.
Whether it be an anonymous sperm donor or an agreement.
Right.
So they determine who the parents are, and then if you're not a parent, it's a lot harder to become a guardian as well. So they wanted to determine who the parents were and parentage and what the rules were to allow people to apply for guardianship.
Okay, and that would immediately, though, once the determination has been made that, yes, in the eyes of the law, you, sir, or you, madam, are indeed one of this child's parents, then the law can also determine how responsible or to what degree of responsibility you owe that child.
And the big thing is what you have to pay, potentially, for child support.
Okay.
Because you see that a lot in court matters where a woman's applying for support and the dad says, well, everyone thinks his dad, well, I don't know if I'm the dad. I want a DNA report. Usually if the woman says, yeah, he can have a DNA test all he wants,
right,
it's because she knows he's the dad.
Sure.
And so they want to make sure that the right person is paying and that payments aren't being made or required from someone who isn't the father.
So as a long-time practicing family lawyer, I'm sure this has crossed your case file more than once, where some question arises as to the legitimacy of this woman or this man as this child's parent.
That's correct.
So you've seen DNA tests
Yes,
ordered
for sure. And it's almost it's funny when I act for the mom and I said, well, he wants a DNA test. They just usually laugh,
right?
Because they know. We don't have the Jenny Jones 10 people up there who may be the dad kind of thing.
Right.
Although it has happened where there was a divorce matter, second child, and it wasn't that person's child. So it does factor in sometimes, but generally it's not as much as
it's not the Jerry Springer show.
No,
usually
the parentage that we're talking about usually is through DNA providing through sperm donations or egg donations or surrogates.
Okay, well, next time when you come back, we're going to spend a lot of time on those responsibilities. It's the one area, one of the areas. Family law is, you think it's divorce. That's it.
Yeah.
It's real simple. It's in a little tiny box. Well, you get into family law, David, and my gosh, it goes on and on and on.
There are a lot of areas you have to deal with for sure.
So when we do these law shows with you, and I look forward to these family law, because it's it hits you where you live,
exactly,
especially at this time of year.
Yep.
So it's a tough show to do for you and me at this time of year, but I'm so glad you're in to do it. But one of the things that we have not touched on at all on this program are the financial obligations of both parties and how those get determined. But the law bases a lot of the determination on parenthood legitimacy issues, don't they?
That's correct. Yeah, you usually, unless you're a step parent and there's some other obligations, or you become a guardian, you don't have to pay child support unless you're a parent.
Right.
And so that factors in for sure.
Let me just very quickly, we've only got a couple of minutes left here, skipping around in terms of responsibilities. If you are a single person who takes up with another person who has children, and you enter into a common law relationship with that person and their children, at what point do you, the single person, assume any, if at all, responsibility for those children in the relationship that you are now a part of?
Well, when you've been together and help support them for a year, that's usually the beginning of your obligations for child support.
Oh, I see.
Although as a step parent, you're always secondary to the parent themselves.
Okay.
So, but it is possible that you can get child support from two different people. So you can get it from the parent, and the step parent tops up. But the new law has made step parents secondary under the Family Law Act.
But do a lot of parents who end up in that situation moving in with someone who already has a family and just picking up and carrying on, do a lot of them not understand that once a year passes that there are automatic things kick in law in BC?
And unless they've already had it happen to them before, they don't know.
Interesting stuff. So where can people go? I know Macquarie Hunter has a terrific website and lots of wonderful links.
Yep.
Where else can people go? Give us a couple of great websites to go just to learn the fundamentals of family law and how it works in our province.
Well, there was a lawyer who used to work here. He now works in Calgary, John J.P. Boyd. He had a website that gave a lot of information.
Okay.
If you want to know about law of, say, parentage or that in BC, just do a Google search.
Right.
It pops up. And if not, certainly give me a call and come in and we'll talk about it.
Okay, and by the way, that information is available to you very easily at Macquarie.com. MSmallCQUARRIE. That's Macquarie Hunter LLP's website, Macquarie.com, and that's where you will find all the contact points you need to get in touch with David Halkett and his colleagues in the family
correct.
law section.
That's correct.
David, thanks for coming in. Tough show for you to do, and
It
a tough
was.
show for me, but I appreciate your demeanor, your professional attitude, and I look forward to the next one in 2016, my friend.
Thanks a lot, Sterling.
See you next time, next year on The Law Show.